Bahrain has accused Iran of randomly targeting civilian infrastructure in what appears to be initial stage of water war in West Asia. The kingdom says Iran caused material damage to a water desalination plant as Tehran continues its missile and drone campaign against its Gulf neighbors. In a statement on social media platform X, the Bahraini Ministry of Interior said, and I quote, "Iranian aggression indiscriminately attacked civilian targets and caused material damage to a water desalination plant following a drone attack." However, Bahrain's National Communication Office and its water authority later said the attack had no impact on water supplies or network capacity. Still, the incident raises fears that targeting civilian infrastructure could become more common in the war, which has now entered its second week. Desalination plants convert seawater into water suitable for drinking, as well as for irrigation and industrial use. Hundreds of such plants are located along the Persian Gulf coast, and many Arab countries in the region rely heavily on them for their drinking water, as it is scarce in the region due to the arid climate and irregular rainfall. While Tehran has not yet commented directly on the Bahrain incident, Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi said on Saturday that a freshwater desalination plant on Keshem Island in southern Iran was attacked by the US and said the strike had set a dangerous precedent. He says, and I quote, "Water supply in 30 villages has been impacted. Attacking Iran's infrastructure is a dangerous move with grave consequences. The US set this precedent, not Iran." Iran's Revolutionary Guard Corps, in retaliatory strike, targeted America's Jufair base in Bahrain, which is the United States Navy's 5th Fleet headquarters in Bahrain, and was used to attack an Iranian desalination plant, according to the IRGC. Ms. Ruthie Bloom is a former advisor at the office of the Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. She's also an author and award-winning columnist. She's now joining us live from Tel Aviv. Ms. Ruthie Bloom, it's good to see you again, and thank you very much for your time. There's a lot of confusion, I must say, when it comes to attacks on civilian infrastructure, because the U.S. Energy Secretary says that the U.S. will no longer target energy infrastructure in Iran, but Israel, on the other hand, continues to say and indicates that they will attack all infrastructure apart from the military infrastructure in Iran. Why is there confusion between Israel and the United States when it comes to this issue?
Well, look, there is always a kind of fog during war. And you can't take everything that the Iranians say, I mean, the regime in Iran says about what is going on there, all right? That's first of all. Yes, Israel said they're attacking any infrastructure that the regime is in control of. Now, I just want to point out something to simplify all of this. None of this would be happening if Iran surrendered. One thing that President Trump and Netanyahu both have said repeatedly is, lay down your arms. As Trump said, he expects unconditional surrender of the regime. And Netanyahu yesterday made a statement in which he said, anybody who lays down his arms, and that includes Revolutionary Guards, Basij, members of the regime, lay down your arms, surrender, and you'll be safe. Don't,
is that the new goal, Ms. Bloomy? Is that the new goal by the United States and Israel, because they failed to take down the regime? Now they're accusing Iran of playing hardball because, again, they killed Ali Khamenei. Now their focus is on the IRGC. Will they be able to take down the IRGC?
Well, hopefully. It's not clear yet. Listen, this is only the 8th day of this war at the moment. But yes, the goal is to take down the regime and mainly to remove its hold on nuclear power, because there's still enriched uranium in Iran, and in the wrong hands that could be a danger not just to Israel and the United States, but the whole world and the region. And the Arab states in the region agree with that. Also, let's remember that it's the Iranian people who have been celebrating President Trump and Prime Minister Netanyahu. Oh, and I'd like to just make a point about what you said in the beginning of the broadcast, how the regime told the Iranian people to stay indoors because of toxic rain. Actually, they have to stay indoors because when they're out of doors, the regime guns them down.
Now you blame the regime for that because, again, when it comes to the warfare, it has now changed because we are talking about civilian infrastructure here. We are using water as a weapon. Do you think that is justified under international law? Because what Israel and America are doing right now, some critics would say it's breaching international law.
Well, you know, the critics have been saying that Israel is breaching international law and used to say that about the United States in every military operation. But you have to notice which actors in the world are saying that. And they're usually the bad actors. The fact is that in war, it is true that there is collateral damage and it does harm civilian populations, but that is not the aim either of the United States or of Israel, to aim at the civilian population. The aim is to liberate that civilian population while defending Israel, protecting Israel, the Gulf states, and the United States, and Europe, by the way.
How are they going to liberate the people of Iran? Now that you've mentioned that, how are they going to liberate the people of Iran if, at all, you're telling these people to stay indoors because there's a war going around them, and then on the other hand, you're telling them to come out in large numbers and destroy the regime? How is that working?
Actually, President Trump said something. He said something more complicated than that. He said, stay indoors in the meantime. It's very dangerous out there. And wait until in the near future, we're going to call on you to come out and protest and help topple your own regime. Because at the moment, there are missiles flying from Iran all over the place, all over the Middle East and in Israel. And in fact, right now, there are Iranian missiles raining down Israel. Oh, and you'll excuse me, I don't know if you could hear that, but this is an alert telling me I have to go to a bomb shelter. So I'm really sorry to cut this short, but I've got to go to the bomb shelter now.
All right, Ruthie Bloom, I'll allow you to go and take shelter. Thank you very much for your time. We'll have to end this discussion here.
Thank you. Thank you again for having me.